All right, so here we are again. We're going to go through the process of creating an account and walking through and doing a tour of the app. So yeah, here we are. We've already logged in, it looks like. We did a social login with our email. We have our terms of service here. Very important message on backing up your wallet. You'll click I've read and agreed to the terms of service and privacy policy. Click accept. And then here you are. You have an Ethereum and Solana wallet that has been created for you. This is obviously a Web3 with your seed phrase to be backed up. Quickly click backup seed phrase. Yeah, and then what we have here is your reveal seed phrase. We won't go through this process, but this is very important that you take a look at these and write these down, because it will be the only way to recover your funds and move your funds. If you don't send them, you can certainly take this to any other wallet, Phantom, MetaMask, wherever you want. You can take this seed phrase and it will have your funds that are on the wallet. But what we'll do is we will skip this for now, and we'll click out of this, and then we will be in the main dashboard. Now, of course, currently there is no data in here, but fortunately we do have some demo data that we can have turned on, and we can go here. We can click add demo data, and now we can have a quick peek and explore the app with some demo data. So we'll go to the dashboard, and the dashboard is quick as typically your landing page when you open the app. The only time it's not the landing page is a couple things. When you have an open trade, then your trades will be on the open page. This is demo data, so we don't have a live chart in here, but typically this would be a live chart where you can either flash close your trade if you're in a position or manage it. A couple quick insights here. If you have more than one, then this would be minimized and you have a couple others in here. Going back to the dashboard, you can see we have our stats. Of course, this is your lifetime trading stats. Anything that has been brought into Ordyn will be revealed here. You have your ROI over time, all your basic ones. A particular feature I like is it'll show your best pattern. So if you're a pattern day trader, it'll show you what ones end up turning out in your favor over time, and you can focus on more of those A-game trades rather than chasing the ones that don't do so well. You have your calendar, so if you're trading every day, maybe you're over trading, you can see, hey, maybe Sundays aren't so good for me, or maybe Fridays aren't good because I'm out and maybe I'm having a couple drinks, and perhaps it's better to not trade on those days because I end up losing more on those days. Of course, over time you'll be having a better insight into the performance that's best for you on whichever schedule works for you. Again, pattern performance. Best trades here, falling wedge, bull flag, whatever it is. Position distribution. Are you winning more of your long trades? Are you winning more of your short trades? Which percentage is best for you? How often are you doing it? What's your MO when you're trading? Something that's nice is it also tells you your fees. How much are you spending in fees? I know if you're a perps trader and if you're trading higher leverage and you're trying to swing trade, fees can certainly be damaging you if you're not retaining profit over those times. If you're just kind of moving back and forth, it might not be worth staying in some of those trades. So you can see what your fee impact would be on that. And of course, we have some other size outcomes here. Your win streaks, your average hold time. I kind of like this. You get to figure out how long you're holding your losses, how long you're holding your wins. I know when I lose, I end up holding my losses for a very long time, and I know when I win, I typically cut my losses fast, and then I get into a better position. What time zone is best for you? Maybe it's a London or New York time zone. Maybe you're trading with Asia. Maybe that's the best for you. So we'll take a look up here. We have our discipline, patterns, and coach. We'll move over to discipline. Of course, discipline is everything in trading. Keeping track of this is integral to staying profitable. So you can see this is how the metrics are broken down here. A lot of these things you can click and they'll pull up the infographics on it. 30% of your win rate is on the breakdown, your risk reward. So if you're entering a trade, you make sure you follow your risk reward. If you're entering a 3-to-1 and you're taking profits early, but the price continues, and it'll know, because we have a hindsight feature too. If your price is continuing, then that'll all feed into this. Your mood distribution, this is demo data, but you'll have a real breakdown on it. And the mood distributions, it's broken down based on your checklist that you do when you're entering. And so this behavior tracker here, a lot of this will kind of come up over time when it starts learning your habits. So if you're entering larger positions after a loss, then it's obviously that you're probably revenge trading on this, and you're probably not managing your discipline very well. And it'll give you a notification, hey, maybe you shouldn't be entering this trade right now. Maybe you should take a break. Are you breaking your rules, etc. Of course, we want to keep track of the positive things that you're doing too. Get that dopamine hit, and stick with plans that work. You'll get a game state after it. Of course, there's a book, The Mental Game of Trading, that I like, by Jared Tendler, who talks about your A game, your B game, and your C game. And I incorporated that into this, so you know what your A game trades are, and you can focus on those. You build a mental profile over time. Of course, your discipline trend here. Your win streaks, your lose streaks. You'll be given goals. If you're something you need to work on, it should end up in the goal section here. It'll also give you an insight into your problem trades, and you can click on these, and it'll take you to those trades, and you can have a deeper insight into what mistakes you might be making. Of course, risk reward heat map. You have your scales here. What is your risk here? You're on a 1-to-1 risk here, and you've done pretty well on this. But if you hold longer, obviously you're making more on your 2-to-1 risk. A wellness tracker. Of course, you want to keep good habits. You don't want to be trading when you're fighting with your spouse. You want to make sure that you are doing everything you can to keep happy, healthy, and in profit. And if you're not happy, healthy, you're probably going to be taking losses, because it's an emotional game, trading. Another feature that I like is, if you just had a couple losses, it's time to take a break. Now you can set a timer. Maybe you just want to step away for a few hours. Maybe it's the rest of the day. Maybe it's a week. You can start this, and it won't really let you trade. You can bypass it. There is a hard setting in it where it will stop you from doing it. But we also want to make sure that, we don't want to lock you out completely. That could be a nightmare. Over here, we have the patterns page. We have, I think 130 or 100 some odd patterns locked in here. We are going to be adding more. I know there's many different ways of trading. There's Wyckoff accumulation. There's Elliott wave theory. Of course, divergence is a nice confluence, so we have this in here. Then there's all the Bulkowski methods. We have our double bottoms, our double tops. And you can really just kind of go through here and, you know, bear flags, bearish pendants, harmonics. If you're a Scott Carney trader, we have all these things in here. I myself am still learning ciphers, but I do like them. I do like Fibonacci, etc. You know, if we go to some of these classic trades here, take a look at, you know, maybe a cup on handle here. And, you know, you can pull this up, you get a good idea on the formation of it. You know, the breakout zone here, you break above the cup. I like to enter on a retest myself, but at least this helps you strategize, gives you an idea if you don't really know patterns. Here's a quick reference guide. Of course, you want to do a little bit more research. If you want to enter a trade, hey, I've identified this in my trading view chart. I can click log this pattern, and it'll take you right in there. Over time, you will have a coach here that will help you analyze your trades. Where have you gone wrong? What's working for you? You can set the different personalities if you want it to be a little bit more harsh with you. If you want it to be friendly, it can be friendly. Of course, we're in the money game here, so, you know, we want it to be straight up is usually the best way of doing this. You can have a weekly review on your trades. You can do voice chat. Whatever you want to do. If you want to talk now, voice chat, of course, we're beholden to the API limits. So it is a slight extra charge. We really don't make anything on this. It's just a matter of keeping the API limits happy and full up. With a subscription, you get 15 minutes free, I think. And, you know, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does cost a significant amount to keep that going. Now, the text is free. You know, you should be getting access to that. That's included. It's just the actual voice chat. Let's go over to our history page here really quick. Well, let's take a look at the log page first. So there you go. Now, some of these notifications I think are coming up a little too often. You can turn these off in your settings. You can set the duration or the frequency. But, you know, you typically want to check in before you're trading. You know, how are you feeling? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty calm right now. Yeah, I'm ready to trade and I've slept well. So, you know, now we can start our session here. Then we can take a look, select the pair we want. Of course, we'll click this. Exchange, are we going to trade on a centralized exchange? Are we going to trade on a decentralized exchange? Currently, we have Bitget and Bitunix under the centralized exchange. Now, I want to be very clear that we do plan on adding all exchanges. It's been a lot of work to get this app to this point, and so this is just where we're at. I wanted to make sure everything else was flushed out before we started adding every exchange and have a whole bunch of problems. Currently, everything's working very smoothly. There's a few minor bugs that we're addressing, but there's no problem with orders that we have found. And if there is, please join the Discord and let us know, create a ticket, and we'll get to it really quick. So the updates happen real fast. The only delays are typically whatever happens on uploading it to the app stores. They have to approve it before it gets launched. So for decentralized here, we have Hyperliquid, we have gTrade, and we had Drift, but Drift had some issues, so we've paused that. It is fully wired. We do have a few other decentralized exchanges that are wired but still in testing, so they're not too far away. Of course, you know, you have to fund these. You have to deposit into these exchanges, at least for Hyperliquid. I believe gTrade trades right from the wallet. And then, of course, for the centralized exchanges, we have API connections that can do that. Now, if you were to enter a trade on your centralized exchange and your API connected, it will auto-detect. So you can auto-journal it and enter in everything. But you can also manage your trades from this. And again, with the decentralized exchanges, I'll show you after. You can open up on a desktop and you can use your app, your Ordyn app, to scan the QR code, the Web3 Connect QR code, and you can also manage the trades from the website. You know, it's designed to be foolproof, so that you don't run into issues when you're trading. Now, yeah, so you'd select your, like anything else, you'd select your direction. This all kind of works into your notifications. Like, are you going to be, you know, we want to be checking in and seeing how we're doing. So, you know, you can select one of these. Are you going to be doing a swing trade, a scalp, whatever? Let's select, let's go with Bitget here. You can see your charts, of course. Now I'm going to do a more thorough walkthrough, so we won't go through this too much here. Of course, you can pick your pattern, but what we'll do is we'll come back to this. I just want to do a walkthrough of this. Of course, here we have our trades, our activity, and our alerts. These are the trades when you log them. You log with screenshots, of course, so you can follow your patterns. Now, these are just some demos, so some of these don't have anything here. But if you click onto this, you're going to have, oh, hey, look, this trade's closed. And now it wants to know how you did. Now, when you log your trade, when you enter your trade, you're given a checklist. And this is kind of a follow-up checklist. Did the trade go well for you? Is there anything you wanted to fix? Is there, you know, did you win? Did you lose? What? It's a bit of a reflection. We'll go through this in more detail later. Yeah, you can go through here. How was your plan executed? Hey, it was an A game. You know, you're up 23%, $94, not too bad. Hit your profit targets here. Yeah, it was a good trade. Here's your stats, where you've traded, entry, exit, which pattern it was, how many fees. Of course, you have your checklists, and then down here you can add in additional screenshots. You can edit this screenshot and put whatever you want in here. Save that, and then you can do a chart analysis. Now, a couple of these buttons, I'll go through this a little bit more in later videos. This is just a general walkthrough right now, so we can really see. Of course, a share button here if you want to share your stats. Activity page here, you can see, you know, what's happening. Where's the money flowing on the app? Is there money coming into your account? Is there money going out of your account? Are you getting alerts? Of course, this demo doesn't have any alerts on it. Oh, here it is. No alerts. So we'll move forward. We won't go through it too much today. This is, again, where your open orders are. Your app, when you open your app, it'll come right to this page. If you want to have your chart open, we'll have your chart open. If you have a limit order pending, they'll appear on this page. No plans yet. Add plan. Now, again, we won't go through it too in depth here, but there's some cool features in here. You have your Fibonacci add, plan add, etc. You'd have to enter some of these details for that to pop up. We'll go to settings. Of course, your typical settings page. You have a lot of different options here. We may be adding some, we may be removing some. I think I've heard some calls to make the dashboard a little bit more customizable. So you can you can remove some widgets if you might not use them, maybe even move them around if there's some other things that you like. Of course, this is the exchange section. This is what I was talking about. If you want to connect to your desktop and you want to have Hyperliquid open and you can connect Ordyn to your desktop Hyperliquid by clicking scan. Of course, this is just an emulator, so we don't really have access to this right now. Again, your API connections down here. And then you have your profile. You get badges, of course. You can add your photo in here, whatever it is. This is me, Tibor. You have your total net worth. Now you click this, it'll give you all your wallet updates, whatever wallet it is. So, you know, the nice thing about this is you can have your assets on different trading platforms and keep track of them all in one location. It's not all spread out. You know, you don't have data from Binance and data from Hyperliquid and not really everything lining up. So this is, I'm just going to turn this off so we can actually see these features here. So I know this is at 0 here now, but okay, so you have your backup seed phrase again. You can check this out at any time. Again, it's imperative that you write down the seed phrase. We're not going to open it up because you're never really supposed to expose any seed phrase anywhere. This is how you deposit crypto into this account. You can receive crypto using this address. You can use the QR code. You can also buy with a card. Now, we use OnRamper to buy it. So you can go on there and you can find the best deal. Whatever area you're in, there's an option. I know I'm in Canada here, so we had to find something to work with that. I can't remember exactly which one I used to get that to work. I think there was a few. You can add in any of these here, any asset you want to buy. Now, we do have a swap. I didn't show you the swap yet. We'll go to that right now. Here's the swap. So we do have a swap. It's powered by Li-Fi. It's a third party. Obviously, we just kind of connect to it to make it easier. I know sometimes you have to have some. You need to connect and pay gas fees for certain things. So I figured it would be easier just to have this in-app instead of having to go out. You can bridge to different chains, of course. Yeah, so that's a nice feature. Of course, if you want to send, you can send from your wallet. If you want to withdraw from the DEX, like if it's in Hyperliquid, you would withdraw. You would have this. Take a few minutes. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. And it's always nerve-wracking when it does that, but it always does work. Of course, always check your addresses before you do anything. And of course, if you want to disconnect your wallet, you can do that. So here's a couple of your wallet addresses. Again, the DOI DEX is here. It isn't fully wired up yet. It's still in testing. Yeah. So here's a nice feature. I personally, I'm always motivated by looking at the compound interest rates. So I wanted to add that in here. Now you can add in any custom amount you want. If you wanted to enter in, $200, I'm a big fan of the number 5% in trading. I feel like a 5%, that's a 1% move. And that's always really exciting. 365 days, you reinvest 100%, and holy shit, I can't even read that number. That's huge. Anyways, that's kind of motivating, but you can look. It starts $10, $1, and then it really just kind of gets going, right? And then after 3 months, it's $16,000. After 1 year, holy shit! Again, what is that? 10 million, billion? I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's more money than I have now. Hopefully, I have that money one day, and hopefully you do too. But you can start tracking the progress here. You just click that and check back, and it'll keep track. It'll keep updating you and say, hey, you're doing good, keep on. If you want to track your progress here, you press this button here and it'll take you right into the AI. Of course, your personal stats, your goals in here. You can unlock badges. Everybody likes getting a badge. You have a few of these here. And then, there's some health check-in stuff. Make sure you're doing all the right things to your body, and it'll give you feedback. Hey, you ate McDonald's on one day and you traded really bad. Maybe you should just, be having some chicken and steak or something. And that's always a good idea. So, hey, let's see what happens if we push this button. Oh, looks like the emulator has some weird kind of glitch here. Here you go. 0 trades, 0 goals, 85%. Holy shit. We got to get some trades going here. So, again, this is this is the app. You know, you want to log your first trade. I really hope that you guys find this app useful. And, you know, it's early days. This is just launching right now. It is May 27th, 2026. I built this app for myself. I really think this is something that you guys will get good use out of. I think that this is designed for the disciplined mindset, for the trader who wants to improve. And I really hope that you guys can get it. You can join the Discord. You can give me some feedback. Let's make this the best money-making device that is available. Please download it. And I really appreciate you watching the video. Download it, shoot me a message, and yeah, good luck trading.